Hello everyone. In this video, we'll dive into the recently released feature of GPT-4o model, which is real-time API. So using the real-time API, you get the voice and audio support. And as the name suggests, the voice and audio support is in the real time. So there are endless opportunities you can use this. You can create a voice bot, which will be quick to answer your questions as the chatbot works, or you can replace human tele customer service executive with your voice bot. But in this video, we'll focus on using this model to create a web voice bot. So first in Azure AI Foundry, I'll deploy the GPT-4o real-time model and then use that model in the sample web app. So let's start the deployment now. I'm logged into Azure portal now. Let's go to Azure AI Foundry. It has been rebranded, but still it's showing as Azure AI Studio. And create a hub there. Let's create a new resource group, RG Hub. And I'll choose the region as Sweden Central. And the reason is because GPT-4o real-time model is available only in East US2 and Sweden Central region. So let's go back to our deployment and let's name it as Real-Time Hub 01. And it will connect the Azure AI services by itself. It will create the storage account for us and use the key vault to save the credentials. I'll keep everything default here and public endpoint so that I can connect to it easily, and no change in identity. We'll use the system assigned managed identity, and storage account access will be credential based access. Review and create and create. I'll pause the video and we'll be back once this deployment is completed. So the deployment is complete now. Let's go to the resource and we are in the Azure AI Hub. Let's launch Azure AI Studio to go into the hub and create a project. And as you can see, instead of Azure AI Studio, it's showing as Azure AI Foundry here because Microsoft has renamed it to Azure AI Foundry. Let's create a project. I'll use the default name. Project is created now. And as you can see in the endpoint and keys, you can see the OpenAI endpoint or the URL as well as the API key. So now let's go to the model catalog, which shows the different models which are available. And we are focusing here only on the new model, which is in preview, which is real-time API model. So as you can see, there is an audio generation model, which is named as GPT-4o real-time preview. So let's click on this model. And this model is available only under two different regions, Sweden Central and US East 2. So we'll deploy in Sweden Central and let's click on deploy. It has automatically selected East US 2, but let's try to change it to Sweden Central. And the problem is we don't have quota for that, but that's all good. We can deploy in East US2 also. So let's create a resource and deploy. Model is deployed now, and you can see the name of the deployment, which is GPT-4o real-time preview. You can find the target URI, which is the endpoint URI of the model, which also includes the OpenAI endpoint. And this is the key for the real-time preview model. Now let's go to the playgrounds and test this model. So we'll use the real-time audio playground. And we have only one model deployed and it's selected here. Now there are multiple options available for the voice. You can choose alloy, echo, shimmer. These are the different type of voice which you can choose from. Then server turn detection. What will be the threshold? What will be the prefix padding? How much time it should wait for? What is the silence duration so that it will start replying? All those can be set up. If you look at the parameters, what will be the maximum response, and what will be the temperature, how much randomness it should provide in the response. So you can change all these settings here. So let's start the conversation. I live in Melbourne, Victoria, and for one of my kid, I want to ask something related to the NAPLAN test, which is in Victoria here or in Australia here. So let's start this conversation. Hello.
Hello, how can I help you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What can I assist you with today?
Actually, I want to know which grade students should take the NAPLAN test.
The NAPLAN test in Australia is taken by students in years 3, 5, 7, and 9. It assesses skills in reading, writing, language conventions, spelling, grammar, and punctuation, and numeracy. The test is designed to provide information on how students are performing in these areas at key points in their education.
Thank you. Thanks for the information. My kid is in grade 3, and where can she prepare it from?
Your child can prepare for NAPLAN in year 3 through various resources. 1. School support. Many schools incorporate NAPLAN preparation into their curriculum, offering practice tests and familiarization with the test format. Online resources. Websites like the official NAPLAN site
Yeah.
provide sample
Thank
questions and
you.
past. You're welcome.
So that was the voice chat playground where we are testing it. Okay, we have tested it in the playground. We have the model deployed, but how to use it? If you have gone through my previous videos, we created prompt flow, which is for creating the different flow. However, this model is not yet integrated into the prompt flow. So we can't use the prompt flow to deploy it into the virtual machine and then use it as an endpoint. Now in this case, I'll use the Microsoft provided sample web app where we'll integrate this real-time API and create a voice bot which will do the communication the same way which we were doing in the chat playground. But it will be our own deployed web app. So this is the Azure samples, Azure OpenAI real-time audio SDK. I'll share the link of this repository in the description of this video. So first what we'll do is we'll copy this or we'll download this into our local desktop. Let's copy this, go to Visual Studio Code, open the terminal. I'm opening the terminal in the PowerShell, and let's git clone the whole git. Looks like git is not installed. So let me quickly install the git and we'll be back soon. I have installed git now, and let's try the clone command again. And perfect, it's cloning the repository. And as you can see, there is a folder created and there are files under that folder. Now these are Azure samples which are provided by Microsoft. So you can create these web app or different apps where you can use the OpenAI real-time audio in the .NET, JavaScript or Python. So in this case, I'll use the JavaScript. So if we'll go to the samples in JavaScript and README and click on README, then it provides the different information that what has to be installed. You have to run npm install and then npm run dev. So first let me check if we have npm installed here. So looks like npm is already installed. But before running this, I want to make some basic changes. Like if we'll go to the web, there is an index.html. You can make the minor changes here so that it will create a custom web page for you. So let me quickly copy paste. So I made some basic changes where I've added welcome to custom voice bot. So I've saved it. Let's go to the folder where we have to install npm. So we are in the React folder and there are different files. So run npm install. Looks like the required version is 18 for the Node.js. However, we have installed 16. So let's see if it works. Otherwise, we'll reinstall it. I think I need to install minimum version 18 of npm, which is Node.js. Because right now the version is 16.13. I'll upgrade this version and then I'll be back soon. Now I have installed the version 22 of Node.js. And let's go back to the folder. And we are in the React folder of the sample application. Now run npm install first. And perfect. It's installed. And now run the npm application. And perfect, it's running on 3000 port. Let's copy this. Open the browser. Now I have to provide the connection settings. So which we are using the Azure OpenAI. So let's go back to our deployments models. And the name of deployment, let's copy this first. Azure endpoint, which will be this. And the API key. And let's connect. Hello.
Hello, how can I help you today?
I want to know which grade students have to give NAPLAN test in Australia.
In Australia, the NAPLAN tests are given to students in years 3, 5, 7, and 9. These tests assess skills in reading, writing, language conventions, and numeracy. Is there anything else you'd like to know about NAPLAN?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Take care.
Let's disconnect. And in the conversation settings, you can provide the instruction, which is the system message, that you are an assistant which will only provide information about NAPLAN test in Australia. And you can change the temperature settings of it for the randomness. Let's connect it again. Hello.
Hello, how can I assist you today? If you have any questions about the NAPLAN test in Australia, feel free to ask.
Actually, I want to know about the Land Rover cars.
I'm sorry, but I can only provide information about the NAPLAN test in Australia. If you have any questions related to NAPLAN, I'd be happy to help. For
Thank you.
details on
So perfect. Our voice bot is working based on the instructions or the system message which we have provided. So now to summarize this video, what we have done is first we have deployed the model, which is real-time API model of GPT-4o. This model doesn't support the prompt flow for now. So what we have done is we have created the model and used the endpoint of the model or the API of the model directly into our web application. Because I'm not a developer, so I have used the already created sample application, which can be created in Python or Node.js or .NET. However, I've used the Node.js in this case. So now if you're a developer, you can create your front end, your application, and then use the model endpoint to integrate with your application, which will provide a voice support. So that's all I wanted to show in this video. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.